Annectens, connecting professionals.
All right, guys, let's start. Recording is on. Fine. Let me share my screen. All right. Please confirm if you guys can see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you. Okay. So we are going to start with since it's fresh Intune setup class. So first thing prereq is to set Entra Connect. Okay, so Entra Connect, why we need it and what it will do, and then we will go with flow enrollment. So first of all, from the previous batch, if anyone has joined, do you know about, or you can you explain what is Entra Connect and what it is going to do? So I've already talked about it. It was very lengthy session that day, right? Any renunciation, anything, any thought on this? What is this Intra Connect?
Hello, Ajit here.
I did, Ajit.
Yeah. Entra Connect is an application which is installed on a Windows server which syncs the on-premise objects to the cloud.
Correct.
So it was previously known as Azure AD. Now Microsoft 2 months back renamed it as Entra Connect.
Entra Connect, correct. So earlier it was Azure AD. Now they have changed it. Before commencing, okay, on this, let's talk about the agenda, what we're gonna cover here, okay. So first of all, we'll be talking about introduction, okay. So I have a small video, we'll just wanna play it out. It's already available on Microsoft page. You guys can later on can see it, okay. We'll talk about the introduction, what it is. So Microsoft Entra Connect, which was as rightly said, it was formerly known as Azure AD Connect. So it is a bridge, okay. So it is a bridge to connect. For example, this is my on-premise server, all right, and this is my cloud, okay. Sorry, I didn't connect my pen tool. Okay, all right. So now let me see. Now this is where your Entra, okay, this person, its name is Entra. Are you going in direct way? Okay, so this person's name is Entra I Connect. Okay, so what it is, his responsibility to do a synchronization, okay, from here to here, and then from here to here, okay. So Entra Connect, what it does, it works as a bridge or a broker, okay. It works as a bridge and a broker that connects, please allow someone, that connects on-premise Active Directory with cloud identity, which is called Entra ID, okay. So now there are two separate entities of AD. I hope everyone is aware of AD, right? So Active Directory, okay, where are all the objects, source of information, everything is saved here. And on the same time, so this is on premises, okay, this is on-prem, right? This is on-prem on a physical server, or maybe it could be a VM server, but it is on-prem. Mostly it could be on a intranet, or maybe intranet, depends upon the organizational setup. But this is technically on-prem and this has nothing to do with cloud, okay. Now this is where Entra ID, which is formerly known as Azure AD, okay. Now this has changed on the cloud. It has been renamed with Entra ID. Now we have two entities. One is Active Directory, which is already on-prem, and one is already on the cloud. Okay, so we will understand how should we, it was a very difficult situation that time, mainly when we were setting, as an admin, when we were setting up a user and his password. So it was really hectic and annoying sometimes to make the same user as a duplicate for the on-prem and for the cloud, and then make sure that both are synchronized with their information, with their password and other, so there is ensuring that there is no duplicacy, okay, and in terms of identities. So to synchronize user identities, passwords, devices, and all the objects which are inculcated in Active Directory with on-premise AD and cloud, we require to have something which can connect both, both the domains or both the entities. Okay, so now having the existence of Microsoft Entra Connect, it has made that need fulfilled. Okay, so that is how we are, without going any extra steps or having two separate set of identities and all. Okay, organizations did accept this approach, and Microsoft ensured that this tool is seamlessly handling hybrid identities, okay, which is like allowing users to access cloud resources securely on the on with their on-premise credential and also with their cloud entities cloud credential. Okay, so that is, we'll talk about it. Okay, first let's understand this introduction. We'll just play a video. Okay, then we'll talk about the prereqs and planning, then installation and configuration, what things are required, then post installation, what configuration do we require to do, advanced configuration, if you are willing to do more advanced configuration, we'll talk about that, then best practices and security consideration, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so let's play that video, and I'm sure I have somewhere, I think here it is, but one thing, I just share sound, and let me play this video. Okay, and please confirm if you guys can hear it.
As organizations extend their footprint into...
Can you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. Okay. So let's play it.
As organizations extend their footprint into the cloud, they must maintain seamless access for their users. With hybrid identity, customers can easily manage access by synchronizing their existing identities to the cloud. Azure AD Connect helps hybrid customers manage their complex topologies and the identities that come with it. Azure AD Connect Sync has helped many customers bridge the gap between on-premises and the cloud. It was built using a traditional architecture that doesn't fully leverage the advantages of the cloud. Realizing this, Microsoft built Azure AD Connect Cloud Sync using a cloud-based architecture. This new architecture helps customers reduce their on-premises footprint, which is a crucial step towards a cloud-first world. With Azure AD Connect Cloud Sync, organizations deploy one or more lightweight agents in their on-premises environment to bridge Active Directory and Azure AD, and the configuration is done in the cloud. Why Cloud Sync? Cloud Sync is the next-generation sync solution from Microsoft. It is state-of-the-art and future-proof. Customers embarking on their journey to the cloud should start with Cloud Sync to avoid costly sync tool migrations and to know they are using the solution where all future investments from Microsoft will be made. With a lightweight agent setup, organizations can lower their on-premises infrastructure costs. This includes software, hardware, management, and support costs. Cloud Sync provides high availability, which will improve the resiliency, thereby providing excellent service levels of organizations. For global organizations that deal with multiple mergers and acquisitions, divestitures, and reorgs, Cloud Sync can help vastly reduce your IT costs by keeping the on-premises directories decentralized and allowing identities from these directories to be synced to a single Azure AD tenant. or multiple tenants without any network connectivity between Active Directory forests and network connectivity to the internet. This helps organizations centralize their identities in Azure AD, increasing their security footprint in the cloud. With quicker sync cycles, Cloud Sync provides reduced latency. In addition, Cloud Sync gives you the ability to sync at domain levels, giving you the flexibility to sync identities in parallel from on-premises. Since Cloud Sync is managed as a cloud service, it's more secure than Azure AD Connect Sync and provides all the security controls that you can use today with Azure AD. This also means that you never have to upgrade to a new version again. You'll automatically keep your software up to date as soon as a new version is available. Azure AD Connect Cloud Sync is the future of hybrid identities. Please check it out so that you can experience new capabilities, the most secure deployment, and save on on-premises infrastructure costs at the same time.
Guys, so I hope that was enough to understand. Okay, so what did you get from this video? What did you understand?
It's an application.
Right.
Things or objects from the on-premise infrastructure to the cloud and reduces the need for reduces the manual work which we were doing earlier.
Right.
And
Right.
it does not duplicate any objects. If any duplicate objects are there, I believe it will throw up an error so that it can be manually removed. I just wanted to
Correct.
clarify one point. I mentioned it should be installed on a member server, but it can be also installed on a DC or any other application server.
It does not, yes, it does not require any dependency. It can be installed at, usually the requirement is to have it on the same where you have your Active Directory installed. I mean, that is most truthful thing. Why? Because the connection point, becomes easy, and there is a Kerberos authentications, and there is password hashes. Okay, so to safeguard all these credentials, we require it so somewhere where it is safe, and yes, of course, where the DC is. So we will try to install it on the DC itself here today, and we will see how does this work. So Entra Connect, we already have enough introduction about it. So it's a bridge, okay, which I'll see if my so this is Connect, and this is where the on-premise server, and this is where the cloud is. So this is going to connect, okay, and this is gonna be synchronizing both the way. So Entra Connect is what to help you working all sort of avoiding the duplicacy, giving you a seamless integration. Okay, so you should not be having two separate set of identities, like one is on-prem and cloud. Then this tool ensures that we have a hybrid identity enabled, which means that we have allowed users to access cloud resources securely with their on-premise credentials. Okay, so it supports synchronizing both or syncing both users and devices. It enables device management in a hybrid environment. Okay, that is the thing. Then next is whatever the connection we are trying to create, okay, in both the world or both the entities. Okay, so passwords are going to be very secure. Okay, there will be a password hash and Kerberos authentication which will safeguard this. It does not mean that you created something in one of a hybrid and to connect as a connector, okay, and wherever the information is going back and forth, okay, that should not be compromised. Why? Because there is a Kerberos authentication and there is a password hash, okay, that is also very much secured, okay, and encrypted. So Kerberos authentication is something which is the underlying secure protocol which is gonna be used to validate what is the user credential on premises during the synchronization. So Kerberos ensures that wherever user is trying to connect or putting his credential, okay, it goes and validates through this protocol, checks whether this same password is on premises or not. If the synchronization, during the synchronization, it figures it out that like on premise password is something different, and Entra password, or wherever user is trying to use any cloud application like SharePoint or maybe anything, okay, where he's trying to enter credential of on premises. If the synchronization fails, it checks through the Kerberos authentication, and it stinkers that yes, this password is incorrect. Okay. One more thing to add here, uh, Entra does not uh, Entra Entra does not add any extra capabilities, okay, beyond synchronization of the devices, or maybe any synchronizing with the existing on-premise policies. It will only do the synchronization whatever they are present, okay. It will not add anything extra. So it will enable users access to cloud resources seamlessly without having any extra credential needed. It does not mean that on premise, like on premises here, you have some password, okay, and the same thing when you're going to Entra, you having a different password, okay. Why? Because there is an Entra ID connected, okay. It's not like that. So it is it is very lightweighted synchronization tool, okay. It integrates with Entra ID, your Microsoft 365, Azure, and other SaaS based applications. So whatever you can think of as a cloud application, or whatever you have been using it, okay, Entra connects with that application on the cloud itself. It's very lightweighted. It can be downloaded and installed. There's no complex federation services or third party tool that are required. This tool will establish only a hybrid connection. It is based out of hybrid identity model, okay, which means that both your on-premise AD and your cloud directory, okay, both coexist together, and they have a synchronized identities. All right, so let's understand here. Let's think earlier we used to have this, it was really tough time to identify, like, what if I how do I manage how do I manage my users which are there on prem to cloud, okay, how do we do the synchronization? And second thing is, how do we keep two separate entities? Do we need to keep two separate entities, or we need to have one entity which can mingle together? We can have same identities working for both the environment. Will that work? So that was a really difficult situation. Okay, I'll just draw something here so you guys can see. I don't know, my epic pen is not working, but for example, this is one user, okay, and he has having a user name, and he is having a password. Okay, now this is the one user, okay, so one username and one password we have already created. So this is on prem, okay, so currently we are on prem. Now at the same time we are going on cloud, okay, and on this cloud now we need to create one username and one password, okay. Now what if there was no connection in between, for example, there was no connector installed, okay, in between. So what we need to do now, since this user's password got changed, and we need to make the synchronization here, okay. What if the synchronization fails, okay. Maybe if just failed because of some xyz reason, maybe admin forgot to change the password, or he forgot to create two entities for the same user. So this user, okay, who's there on prem right now, okay, this user is gonna have a very difficult time to set his footprints over the cloud, okay. So all the cloud applications, maybe if he is using Outlook, okay, if he is using Teams maybe, or any other application which is on cloud based and having SSO integrated with this, it would have been a difficult task for him to manage both the entities. So for that reason, what we need to have, either we need to set one again, I have a like more than 5,000 users. Okay, for example, just I have. So for admin, it would have been a very difficult task to maintain all set of, users, entities, and all sort of thing, created here, and all users to create, and then synchronize all these entities all the way. It's just not users. Okay, I am seeing the devices also. Okay, and I'm seeing the passwords also. All sort of things are now at crucial stage. Okay, and one admin, he need to maintain all these two platforms, and ensuring that the passwords are same, devices are showing up, users, created, we have all those identities, all set of entries are, up to date as it is there on prem. It would have been a very difficult task. Now since AD Connect, came into the picture, so we don't need to set up two username or two passwords and then synchronize them, and then having those two separate entities making together. So now the best thing is we can have one user. Okay, let me see if my mouse is working. So for example, now let's see. So for example, now let's see, I have one user. Okay, and he's already there on premises. Okay, and at the same time he's there on cloud, and both are in sync, and he is restless assures that whatever laptop he is using, or maybe desktop he is using, whatever credential, okay, whatever credentials he's putting up here, the same is gonna work for his on-prem and cloud both. Okay, so why this happened? This was because of this cloud and Entra Connect. Okay, because of this could have been a possible way of doing it. So authentication process is the biggest, I would say, issue in your premises. It is like heavily we are dependent on the authentication. Anything which we are doing, we require to have a username and password, and before going through, it is very difficult to pass and go to the next step, right? So that's why Entra Connect is coming into the picture. Now how the architecture is defined, let me clear this from here. Okay, so let me clear on. All right, so now the authentication thing is the biggest, I would say, biggest issue right now. So authentication process involves your cloud is connecting back to on premises. Okay, now this is your on premises. Okay, and this is your cloud. Now since we are having Entra and we have SSO and all sort of identities. Okay, so now what is happening, this is now your cloud is gonna talk to on premise. Okay, and there will be authentication. Okay, there will be authentication required. This authentication will be done through Entra Connect only. Okay, it will ensure that yes, passwords are validated. Okay, then there is a communication. So communication is very crucial. So we require to have a HTTPS. Okay, which will be running on 443. Okay, this 443 is a secure channel. Okay, where we will have a public key and private key. Okay, if you guys are aware of PKI infrastructure, if you are aware about the public key infrastructure, how the certificate authentication works and all sort of thing, then public key and private key, this mechanism is there, which will ensure that we have a secure password hash exchange. Okay, we have very detailed talked about it. Okay, so now whatever password, what you might think, okay, I have something like password 123. Okay, and this is on my cloud. Okay, now the same is going to my Entra. Okay, what if my password gets hacked in between? Okay, what if my password gets leaked in between? So how will that work? Is there any encryption mechanism available? Okay, while doing the exchange from one password to on premises, okay, or this on premise to here, is there any exchange mechanism? Okay, is there any exchange mechanism that will work? So yes, there is an exchange mechanism that is there. Okay, that will ensure that whatever password hashes are being exchanged, that is going to be encrypted multiple times, means multiple folds. For example, if I say that this is my password 123, okay, this is my password. Now this password first fold, it will become something like 01234, okay. Then again there will be this gonna be something 03456, something like very random number. Again this is gonna be changed to something else, okay. Again is this gonna be changed to something else. So it's very hard to identify what was the exactly password, okay, for this user. It is very difficult that time. So encryption is at the level where we have multiple folds or multiple times the password gets changed with the hashes, okay. And now it is extremely difficult to reverse engineer the original password, okay. And that is why Entra Connects, stands out for this. If I go to authentication, from Entra ID, where we have a secure channel, okay. So why this secure channel is established? Because of Azure Entra, your Microsoft Entra Connect, okay. So let's understand that this is going to be a next generation cloud sync solution, okay. And the best thing is with this solution, we don't need to update, as we heard about it, like every time. You are not required. Oh, that is great thing. I didn't notice actually. We have a notation as well. So will that work? I don't know. So what I was trying to say, this is a next gen. This is a next gen integration. This is a next generation tool, and this solution is there, which will reduce on-premise infrastructure footprints by only deploying this lightweight agent. Okay, so this will. Okay, so everyone having access, I believe. Okay, so Cloud Sync will improve the resiliency. Okay, it will improve the high availability. It will reduce the management overhead. Okay, also it will support your synchronization. If you're having a multi-forest AD, okay, AD forest, like where you have one or more AD tenants, okay, and you're having a very complex network connectivity, even though if that is true, okay, you have multiple thing, and you have one on-premise server, and still you feel like, okay, how to do that, still you have the cloud sync saved you, okay. Okay, so everything is there. You don't need to worry about having any extra complex network connectivity, right? And this cloud sync is managed as a cloud service. Okay, so whatever, if you feel like we need to have extra sort of service where we require, or you think like we need to go with manual, upgrade all the time, okay, and we need to have security in place, okay, so you don't need to worry about anything. Microsoft is covering all. We just need to have this tool. It will auto upgrade. It will already have improved security injected in this. Recommendation for this tool for those who having multiple tenants, are they just want to rely on cloud first architecture, okay, and they want to avoid, okay, costly migrations. Sorry guys. Okay, who want to avoid the costly migration. So for those people, if you are like as an architect, if you are setting something for a client, and if he says like, see, I am very much confident about you and all sort of things, but still I want to have a second thought of Entra Connect. Why should we leave our on premises. So tell them like we don't need to leave anything, okay, but you're adding extra layer of security by having this Entra ID Connect. And this Entra ID Connect will ensure that whatever synchronization is happening, it's already, in the secure encryption. And plus it is having a multiple times the password is gonna be folded, okay, which means reverse engineering or doing a reverse password, it's not possible, right? So this is cost if affected, does not require any additional migration stuff. It is cloud first architecture. Whosoever is looking forward to move in cloud first architecture and just looking forward to make forests synchronized and everything is in seamless integration, Entra Connect is best tool for them. Okay. Now let's go to next. Okay. Can we have it back? All right. So I think we need to stop it. So now let's understand, since we talked already about all sort of things, since how we why we interconnect, I'm not going to repeat it again. There is no need to have two separate accounts, okay, and you should not have 1 second, so sorry, I'm just playing all this. So there is no need to have create separate accounts, okay, for that. And you can disable users account if it's on premise directory. For example, one of the employee, he just left the organization, so what you can better do, you can simply disable his account, okay, you can simply disable his account. And as soon the user's account is disabled, it is restricted to access any of cloud based resources, okay. That is a good thing. Why this is happening? Because of the Entra, okay, Entra Connect. Because of the Entra Connect, it is gonna disable it will restrict the access. Then it will offer the best of both worlds by combining both on premises and cloud capabilities. Then your benefit, if you feel that I have created a account lockout policy, okay, and I have created something that is working on premises, what if I can gain the same on cloud based protection as well? Can we have Azure identity protection which can safeguard our policies, our login hours and all sort of informations? So of course yes. So with this Entra Connect, it also synchronizes all sort of settings, policies which you have created here as well on premises, okay. It will enable on premises users to securely access your cloud resources. It will integrate on-premise directories with Entra ID. So it will ensure that uh, your user having all unified identity access with his account. Like if you're using Office 365, Azure, or SaaS applications, or anything which is integrated with Entra, okay, it will be managed through Entra Connect. So it will be secured. Can you please allow? All right. So, okay, only drawback of this, I think I cannot shift it to anywhere else, but any which way. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, that with Entra Connect, you can leverage everything whatever you have been doing on premises with your identities and access policies and everything. The similar infrastructure you can build in your cloud, the same capabilities you will have in the both worlds, and this unified identities will be accessed through both the world, and your user will have a seamless integration with all Microsoft services and Office 365s and all sort of things, okay. So that is the one, that is the benefit of this. So let's jump in to next. What is Entra? This is, let me move this annotation somewhere. Okay, only concerning point is like my Epic tool is not working, so I'm dependent on this one right now. But anyway, This is helping me out a bit one, but I think everyone having a playground here. Generally, stop doing this. So, all right. So let's understand. We already talked about it. So Azure AD Connect. Okay, we will do a paint here. Okay, later on. Let me finish this first. So Azure AD Connect is a lightweight synchronization tool. We already talked about it. Oh, okay. And Andrew, since you missed it up, so we already have. I'll show the recording. So this is a lightweight tool, synchronization tool, which is provided by Microsoft. It enables between integration between both the world. Okay, establish a hybrid identity model. Okay, this model is secured. It's already encrypted, and we have HTTPS over port number 443. So because of this encryption, we have all authentication methods, all the passwords, everything is synchronized. And Microsoft Identity Platform, this is like it spans from on-premise to cloud. So authentication to authorization with all the resources, it is known as hybrid. Okay, hybrid identity. So this is being taken care by your Entra Connect. Okay, so that is one thing. Now let's go to next. Okay, this is what how it looks like. Can I have it somewhere? Moved it. Only I can annotate. Fine. And can I move it somewhere? Okay. No, not moving. Okay, so let's understand. This is where it shows. Okay. This is where let me delete all. So this is where it says that this is your on-premise Active Directory. Okay, and this is your cloud. Okay, we already talked about it. So in cloud we have all SaaS based applications already available. Okay, and how we should connect, how we should integrate a connection. So because of the Entra. Okay, because of the Entra Connect. Now this user, okay, this is your user, or this is the device. Okay, this is the device. Now this user is trying to sign in to any Entra or any cloud resource. Okay, cloud resources. So how will that work? This cloud resource is gonna be accessed through this Entra Connect. This cloud resource is gonna be accessed through Entra Connect. Now, if a user is also trying to access any applications which is based on your cloud, it is gonna be through SSO directly. Okay, what Entra will only work when you are trying to connect anything from your on premises. Okay, it is not needed. It is not needed. I'm repeating again. It is not needed when you are trying to do it. When you're trying directly connecting to any SSO or any cloud resource. Okay, any cloud resource, we do not require any sort of Entra in that. Okay, Entra is only purely meant for on-premise connect to cloud. It is a bridge, it is a broker which passes through the information, and it ensures that there is a security and encryption made available, right? So this is the architecture, and this is very plain and very simple. I'll just make sure that we are not having too much cluttered this picture. So cloud is here, and only users or devices which are trying to check in, okay, and trying to sign on for any sort of cloud resources, at that time only they require to have their login ID and password. So this user who's trying to access his SSO or his cloud resources, he should have a username and password already, right? Now this user, since this user is belonging, we already have on-premise Active Directories, which means that on-premise also this user's identity will be created. Okay, his username and password will be created. And if this user, if user is not in on-premise, or he's not in the office, okay, he's not connected over the LAN, but he's trying sitting at home, okay, and he's just watching a movie and he's just trying to connect his Outlook, okay, and just to see what are the emails and all. So for that, he will put his credential, which is already there on premises, and then this cloud will no longer be identifying him until there is a Entra connected. Okay, so once Entra is connected and he's trying to enter his credential, so this will go through this Entra ID, and Entra ID will validate if this credential, whatever he's trying, we have a separate slide for this which we will talk about it, and then this will authenticate and then it will validate that yes, user name and password is correct and he's the right user having the right license, and then we can further progress on it. Okay, so let's go next slide. Okay, let's understand the flow. So for this flow, we require to have seriously.
Vibhu, can you just go back to the previous slide, please?
Yes, sure. All right, let's think. 1 second. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. Can you see it?
I can see. So you've got a user who's on prem Active Directory. Active Directory uses hierarchy, which has got a forest tree, organization units, and departments. But in the Azure AD, it's a flat. You don't have any structure like that. So it's a different format and everything else. So you got a user who is using a Cobras protocol that can't be used on the internet. So therefore, how does that connectivity work? And what happens to that user who connects to the Entra? How does the authentication happen? Is that authentication being validated on the cloud, or the request is going to on-premises Active Directory to see if this person is allowed to be part of on-premises? How does that all fit in? Can you explain that, please?
Sure. So that's there in the next slide. That's a good question. Okay. How does that work? Okay, we already have covered in the next slide. We'll talk on it. Okay. Different hierarchies, as you mentioned. Okay. Now, as you said, on-prem is on more of traditional domain-based structure. Okay, we have OUs, we have group policies, domain control, all sort of things we have there. But Entra is pure flat structure. There's no OU, no GPUs, no identities, or all sort of things. Okay, what it happens, there is a bridge that is called Entra Connect. We're talking about it. Okay, that connects between, that fills the gap. Okay, between on-premise AD and Entra. Okay, by using this, what it does, it synchronizes all the identities which are there on premise AD to Entra ID. It ensures that whatever, now in the next slide we'll talk about it, about the federation, pass-through authentication, and password hash sync and all sort of thing. That will ensure that whatever users which are there on premises having access to both the environment, having this using the same credential. Okay, so we'll talk about it next. Okay. Right. Good question. I do appreciate it. Good observation and good question. All right. So for this, we require to have a AD tool or AD Connect tool. Okay, that we will download and install. Okay, that we will download it from AD portal. Okay, which is like Entra, and from there we will accept the EULA, okay, and user licensing agreement. Then we will agreement. After having this, there is option called advanced options, and there is a customized option that we can use for the advanced configuration, right? Then we require install components, like what things do we require, what not, okay, and how do you want to synchronization that to happen. Okay, we'll do that. And then next we will choose the authentication method. So how would we like us authentication to happen? Okay, whether we want to go with PHS or we want to go with the PTA. Okay, so both things we will talk about it. Then we will provide our global administrator credential. Okay, that is required. So global admin credential will help you to set this account further, and having this setup connect, we will do the synchronization. So how would you like to synchronize, whether you want to go with the forest domain or anything, by entering the enterprise AD credential. Then we will configure sync scope. Okay, there we will choose the specific organizational unit you want, or you want to do a sync all sort of things, we can set it up here. Then we will enable the password write back. So password write back, and whether you want to have a Azure AD join, how you want devices to be write back, and all sort of things, we will do it here as an optional features. Then the installation will further complete. Then we'll do a synchronization, and we'll run the synchronization cycle, and we'll complete the setup. Okay, so that is what it is. Now this was the flow. All right, now let's understand, come to your question. Okay, now your questions says, for example, now I'm more of looking forward for integration with Entra Connect, but I have few more questions, okay, or doubt. I just want to clear it up. First of all, should I use PTA or PHS, what it is, okay, and why it is, why we need it. Next is, do we need to synchronize devices from on-premises to cloud? Okay, that is the question. Then if we enable write back, is it needed? Why we enable device write back? Why is it necessary for the environment to happen? Okay, why we need it? Then if we have passwords, okay, and if I'm just setting up a write back, okay, if that is enabled, so how will that allow, because some clients having a they're having a very particular restriction on this. They don't want users to initiate a password reset directly from the cloud. Okay, they want still the on-premise should have that ownership to make the changes in the password, or maybe changes in the identities. They do not allow, they only allow your cloud to have those identities synced, but they does not have precedence over to change anything without having a admin, without having an on-premise permission. Okay, so that is the point. Remember this. Okay, then do you want to enable hybrid Azure AD joined for seamless device registration? Okay, so this is also a question. These questions comes when you are doing a presentation to the client. Okay, and these questions comes to their mind, whatever I've curated. Is federation integration required for authentication strategy? Because now I hope you guys are aware, recently we had a very Microsoft was down, Microsoft 365 services was down, and Azure front door was the cause of that problem. Okay, so there was lots of latencies, and we got the portal down for 4 hours. Okay, so there were people, okay, there were people, they still want to stick, still they want to stick with their on premises. They still not AWS was down in some time. Then now AD Azure was down recently, last 2 days. So it was really difficult for one big organization who's heavily dependent on, like, they are a petrol mining company, or they are in something very crucial where they cannot afford of a single delay in their synchronization, or maybe in a time sync, or they are purely some sort of consumer valuables. They are selling something and they are heavily dependent on these services, so they don't want to jump into cloud and lose their business. Okay, so these things comes to users mind or clients mind. Okay, and they think like, why we need all sort of things. Okay, so let's understand the key consideration, okay, part, and let's understand. So first of all, let's understand what is PTA. Okay, let me close this tool. This is really creating problem. So this is actually this is called password through synchronization. Okay, let me see. Okay, so password through authentication, this is what it talks about. I'm just gonna do an overview. So password through authentication is what? So password validation happens directly from on premises. Okay. So this is especially designed. This is specially designed to enforce on-premise Active Directory security, okay, and password policies. Okay, PTA is something password through authentication where password validation will happen directly from on-premises. There will be no password hashes stored in the cloud. Okay, that is the thing. Now, here your cloud does not know, okay, what is the password of the user. Okay, why? Because there is a PTA is stands for password through authentication. So authentication is handled by on-premise domain controller. Okay, and it ensures that users, whatever password they have or their policies which are defined, it is only governed by the domain administrator. It is not by the cloud. Okay, so whatever changes we are doing, whatever policies we are creating, it can be only taken up by the domain admin, and it is gonna be stick with your on premise. Okay, not with the cloud, right? Then here in PTA, passwords are never stored in the cloud, not even hashed. What do you think? Like, if I have some password like 123, okay, and if it's hashed, okay, maybe having a sort of hash values, still that hash value, we also don't want to have that in the cloud. Okay, so because of PTA, we can ensure that we have security and we have compliance set. Okay, passwords are never stored, never hashes are shared, and no security or compliance are being breached, okay, because of this, right? Next is we have seamless integration. So seamless integration means seamless integration means that we have conditional access here. Okay, and with this conditional access we ensures we have MFA enabled, we have conditional access in is there in place. Now, having these two set of doors, we ensures that no fake users or users having limited access, or it does not belongs to that particular domain, but still he's leveraging those resources. So he shouldn't be until he is having the right credential, right MFA, and conditional access set, right? So password protects uh, okay, so password protects brute force attacks. Okay, this is where this happened when they are trying to against on premises, when someone is trying to validate the credential, okay, over the cloud, and just want to uh, penetrate over your on premises. Okay, this is because of the PTA. It does not happen. Okay, so protect against brute force attacks, which simply you do not have any footprints in the cloud. Okay, in the cloud. So because of that, no entities, no password, no hashes, nothing is there. So it is hard to break and validate the credential and penetrate in your on-premise environment, right? And this option, when we're talking about PTA and all, this comes with the custom settings. Okay, this is not available for express settings. So if you guys are choosing, there are two ways of setting up AD Connect. One is express setting, and then a second one is custom setting. Okay, so let's understand PTA is very much highly secured. Okay, it is more concerned. Maybe I'll just say I'm a health care domain. Okay, okay, and for me, my patient's data is highly confidential. Okay, I don't want anyone to access it. So what I'll do, I'll keep this on my on premises, and on premises having a full control over it. Okay, so PTA will ensure that whatever hashes and stored password which is there on premises, that is not gonna sync with cloud. Okay, so cloud does not have anything. PTA will require an on-premise agent. Okay, so PTA will require an on-premise agent. Okay, PTA will requires an on-premise agent which will validate the credentials. So this is my on-premises and this is my cloud. So what I'll require a on-premise agent, okay, that will validate that yes, authentication request has come, and then it will check with on-premises that is if this user exists or not, if this password the password is added, is this correct or not. So that way it will validate the authentication request, right? Then
So are you writing something or drawing on the actual content? I can't see.
I am doing it, yes.
No, can't see.
What about others?
I'm able to see her.
You guys can see it?
I cannot see. There is something like cursor type only. It's not writing anything.
Yes,
On-premise
I see.
agent, on-premise
Nothing.
agent.
Whatever drawing or writing is not been reflected on my screen.
It could be network issue because one of the, I think, generally you can see it, right?
Yes, I'm able to see.
Only
So-
different I can see here is if you've logged in the Teams with either browser or with your credential, that is a different I can see. Otherwise, we would see the same thing what the other colleagues are saying.
I don't
So
know
I don't
if
think
it's a
I don't think
network
it's a
or
network. No, it's not a network. I'm a network senior network engineer myself. Nothing to do with the network. It's the application. Either there are two options when you log on to the team. Either you use a browser or use your Teams credential. If you use a Teams credential, it is definitely having another layer. And if somebody is logged in via that, they would see exactly what you see. I don't see that.
so I'm using a Microsoft Teams application and I'm logged in with that only. And
Yes, that's the different I think.
from I think last 1 year, the same thing, same strategy, or maybe same setup is there. There is nothing changed, and no one has complained. I think because of the annotation, I believe this is a problem. Earlier, we used to have a Epic tool. Okay, that was not creating problem here. So let me do one thing. Let me stop doing this through annotation. Maybe.
No, what Janani
No, I got
is
your
using.
point. Hold on. I just got your point. I think because of the annotation, maybe give me a break. I'll just have Epic Pain installed on my computer. Okay, that way I think we will have this problem solved. All right,
Okay.
just a second. So let me come out of it. Stop the sharing. Let me. So give me a break. 2 minutes. Let me get this installed. All right, guys, I'm back now. Let me share my screen and so now please confirm everyone if you guys can see this or not. Whatever I'm writing,
Yes, yeah, I'm
done.
able to see.
What about you?
Yes, it's working now.
What
Thank
about
you.
Ajit? What about Ajit? Is it working? Okay, so apology guys. I thought annotation will work. It was the first time I used it, though my Epic one was disappeared somehow. So whatever I was writing, I'm sorry. I need to repeat again whatever I have just taught. Let me clear up and let's start it again. Okay. So so let me delete everything from here, and I think yeah. All right. So PTA, you guys me to explain it. I'll repeat it again. Okay. So PTA is something when we are talking about, this is mainly preferred when your organizations are looking for high security. Okay, and they think like there could be a concern. Okay, as I said when I was talking about healthcare. Okay, so healthcare, people, they are very much particular about their patients' data. Okay, they don't want any compromise on this on those data. So to keep full control on premises and avoid storing password hashes in the cloud, we require PTA. Okay, PTA is stand for password through authentication. All right. So this way we ensures that your on-premise Active Directory having all sort of securities and all the passwords policies which are there, which are intact with on-premises. Okay, it is not with the cloud, right? Next is your authentication handling is gonna be done through on-premise only through the domain controller. It ensures that users, whatever they have policies, passwords, whatever that is being defined by only domain administrator, not by the cloud admin. Okay. So for example, this is my on-premises and this is my cloud services. So what if I am as a user, okay, I am just trying to uh, log in with my credential, okay, to cloud, and I just think like, okay, I can change my password and I can do all sort of things, but because of the PTA in between, okay, it will not allow you to do all sort of things. The precedence will only be there with domain admin. Okay, domain admin, he will only the one who will be making changes in all sort of uh pat in all sort of way. All right. Then next is passwords are never stored, means that even when you're talking about password, even though we're talking about hashes, that hashes will also not be stored in the cloud. Okay, so it means that your security and compliance are strict with your on premises. Okay, there is no compromise on that, and PTA will require a PTA will require a agent which is called on premise agent. Okay, that way PTA will ensures that whatever password is being added or being here entered by this user is being checked by PTA. PTA comes to on premises and then it comes here to validate that if that is correct or not, right? Then PTA will provide you higher security assurance, which means that your password is never saved, no hashes are saved, and your cloud will continuous, dependent on your on-premise availability. If there is any downtime happens, okay, if this on-premise services are down or some way, so this will impact the entire cloud. Okay, it because it is heavily dependent on that, right? There is a seamless integration with AD features. So if you are thinking that you are from a different domain and you are a maybe some other department and you just want to connect with some SharePoint, okay, and you feel that that SharePoint having all sort of information which you require, but unfortunately if you don't have conditional access and you don't have multi-factor authentication, it will block you then and there, and it will check with on-premise domain whether this person is correct or not. Okay, so that way we can ensure that yes, this safety and security is intact. Then protect against brute force attacks. So this brute force attacks is nothing but whenever you are adding your credential, okay, some way when your PT is not enabled, your passwords may get stored at cloud. Okay, and that way there they can validate the credential and they can directly penetrate in your on-premise environment. All right, so having this to avoid this brute force attack, that's why PTA is required. Okay, that PTA ensures that your credentials are safe and you're not sharing it with directly with the cloud. It's not like we don't have cloud, but we don't trust sharing any information. So this PTA can be taken care or can be enabled by going to the custom settings. Okay, it is not available with express settings. So if you are setting up, there are two ways of setting it up. One is express and the second one is custom. So we'll talk about more on this. So this PTA is only required when you don't want to rely on cloud. Okay, ensures there, because in the PHS there will be term different. All right, so PTA ensures this is very tricky when interviewers ask this question. There are two ways, PTA and PHS. Okay, so PHS and PTA, they are two things, and they will confuse you in between both of it. Okay, always tell them that PTA is only required when you are heavily dependent on your on premises and you don't want to share security and compliances anywhere with cloud, and it's like very secure domain, and you want to keep like healthcare, which is the paramount security for the patient's credential. They don't want to share it with anyone. This is where PTA is required. All right, so that is one thing. And so let's go further. Let's understand this PTA. I just having authentication method here, how it works. So user will enter his username and password, okay, on the cloud device, right? Then the cloud device is gonna request to Azure AD. From Azure AD, username and password, username will be validated, but password is not there. Okay, so password is gonna be checked over the on-premise AD. Okay, it will forward that request to on-premise AD, and it will ask like, what is there? Should we allow this user or not? If that user depends, like if that user is authenticated, means the password is not changed and the similar password is there on premises, then that user will be authenticated and the access will be provided. If the password is changed somehow, or he just forget the password and he's not the person who genuinely looking forward to the resources, he will be denied for the access. Okay, that is how the flow works. It's very simple, straightforward. PTA is heavily dependent, as I said, on your on premises. So username will be there, password will be checked on on-prem, it will authenticate. If yes, then grant. If no, no, deny. Simple, plain and straightforward. All right, so that was the PTA. Now understand this through the diagram, more of understanding it. For example, if I say so let me have my pen here, and all right, so I am a user. Okay, I am a user who is trying to authenticate myself. Now I have punched in my username and password. Okay, now this has punched in here on Active Directory. Okay, this is where the username is checked. Now there will be a pass-through authentication. The pass-through authentication will check for the key. Okay, key is what? Your password. Okay, that will be checked through the pass-through authentication agent. So pass-through authentication will forward your query, whatever key you have entered, to your Active Directory server domain. Okay, where you have kept, where your data is saved. Okay, means you're part of a domain or not, which OU you belongs to, okay, what is your identity, and all sort of information will be kept here. So your password is already there in your on-premise AD. Okay, so this AD credential will be checked here, and if it gets verified, okay, it will redirect, okay, using the synchronization. Okay, that is because of Azure AD. Okay, so AD will Entra ID, I'm not this is changed now, so Entra ID Connect. Okay, so Entra ID Connect will synchronize your Active Directory identities, which is on premise, to your cloud, and tell that yes, this user is correct and his password is correct, and yes, we are okay to allow him, and that is how he can access to all on premise like SaaS based and Office 365 or LOV apps, whichever apps is there on cloud, it will be synchronized and he will be granted access to it. Okay, so this is the official flow. This is coming from Microsoft page. Okay, you can also go and check it. So
Thank you, sir. Just sorry, pass-through authentication agent, is that Entra Connect or it's part of the Azure Active Directory? What is that unit at the bottom you put in? Pass-through authentication agent. What is that unit?
so pass-through agent is like when you having your on-premise server. Okay, This is an authentication method which is already there. Okay, when you install Entra ID now, it gets that PTA agent installed automatically. So that
understood.
agent
So
is
that
then authenticate your user against your on-premise AD.
so that agent is part of Entra Connect.
Entra Connect, yes,
Okay,
and it establishes the communication between Entra ID and PTA agent is using that outbound only source of channel.
yeah, the diagram really explains
So
well.
there is no, yes, thanks, no problem. So there is no just to add it up here, I'll just delete everything. One more thing is where as Dhan rightly said, so PTA is one which works on the outbound. My handwriting just so PTA runs in outbound only way. Okay, that is one mode, and that is why it is very secure. So it does not having any inbound ports or anything that is required. Okay, doing it because it's outbound means it's gonna send the query and listen to it. Okay, but it does not have a capability of making any changes or anything as in inbound. Okay, so all it works through outbound only, and it is part of Entra. All right, so that is the PTA. PTA is very critical. I mean, one of the Intune architect, he was trying to set it up for one of the healthcare industry, client, and PTA was that time very crucial to set. Like there was lots of configuration, lots of things that were required. But PTA is very crucial if you are heavily indulged in something, or your client is very much having a secure confidential data, and he's very much particular about not to share or having concerns about uh, seeping it out, the information outside, ensures that PTA is set for that client. All right, so that was it, and let's go next. Okay, let's another second thing. This is I would say PTA and PHS. Okay, they are two terms. Okay, which runs parallelly, right? So PTA versus PHS. Okay, depends upon when you said when you are doing infrastructure need. It depends upon your infrastructure need. Based on the security, you can do PHS or PTA. Okay, so if I say I am looking for PTA versus PHS. Okay, now after this slide I will come and question you, like, what do you prefer? Okay, which mode would you like to go forward? So PTA versus PHS, heavily dependent on security and infrastructure need. Then your device synchronization. How would you like to synchronize your devices? Whether on-premise should be synced to cloud for management and compliance, or how is it? Depends upon, it's how you plan with when you're sitting with your client. This is how you plan it, right? Then password write back, how you want cloud initiated password reset to reflect back to on premises. Okay, that is where it is needed. Now let's understand PHS more about it. What is PHS? So PHS is something, it's called password hash synchronization. Okay, password hash synchronization means it is gonna be helping you signing using the signing method. Okay, it will implement a hybrid identity to Azure AD. Okay, so it will enable users to sign in with AD services, right? For example, if I'm using Microsoft 365 and all, so the same password, okay, which is there on premises, that will work. Okay, so in that case, PHS will store password hashes in the cloud using a secured SHA-256 hashing model. Okay, so this is also called SHA. Right. So here what is happening when a user is signing with their password, there is a one-way hash. Okay, that one-way hash will keep the password. Okay, and that password will be generated through a RSA key. Okay, that RSA key is where you have a hash key of that password, and that will be securely saved to Azure AD AD. Okay, this is SHA-256. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a call. Yep. So I was saying this is encrypted, and this hash key will be stored securely using having this SHA. SHA is something, if you guys are not from that technical, so it is full form. I'll see if I can write it down. So this is called secure hash algorithm. Okay, this is called secure hash algorithm, and this is on 256 bit. Okay, or bit. That is what the cryptography hash function, which is widely used when you are part of security or any uh, uh, like security, or if you're using TLS, SSL, blockchain, and all sort of things. So this SHA is measured for, like, it's renowned for the password hashing and safeguarding your credential, right? So SHA is there, okay, which is using this highly and latest 256 bit of algorithm. Okay, this is using a security protocol, that is where your password is very much highly secured. Okay, in this model, what happens? AD, your Entra ID, will handle the authentication directly in the cloud. Okay. Now in PTA, we were dependent on that on-premise server, right? The agent was going to talk to on-premise. If on-premise says yes, then it goes to cloud. Okay, and then it confirms that yes, password is correct. But cloud never had this. Uh, Cloud never had the password saved, correct? But at the same time, here it is not like that. Okay, now here cloud having authority, cloud having a feasibility where it can authenticate directly using this PHS. Okay, so rather than, if you notice this, rather than if wait a second, so rather than if I say forwarding this request to on premise directory, as we were doing with pass authentication, now here we are not dependent on any PSH, right? We are highly dependent on this. PHS can handle all sort of authentication mechanism. It is not heavily dependent on this, but it can manage using this PTA. So PTA, now what happens? PTA will save the data, okay, in 256 SHA hash algorithm, which is originally MD4 hash mechanism. This is a part of SHA 2 family, what I remember, which is developed by National Security Agency, NSA. Okay, and that way we started using it, and Microsoft is predominantly using it to making 64 character hexadecimal string, something like that. So I have a website. I'm not sure if I can show that to you, but on that website, if you like enter any password, let me see if I can show you that. If I remember that password name correctly or not. So password hash generator. Okay, and so yep. So let me see if this works. All right. So my password is password123. All right. And let me create a hash here. Okay. So this is how it's something look like. If you guys can see, this is very finicky, and you cannot do a reverse engineering. You cannot know which password it is, right? And with 256 SHA, SHA will make multiple fold of that password. So the same way, this password, if I copy and just I paste it here, okay, and again I do a generate hash, so maybe it will again do some sort of additional fold of the same password. And again, if I copy the same and if I paste it here and I just do this, so it will again change something different. I mean, what I'm trying to make sense here, that this password keeps on changing with multiple fold of encryption. Okay, which means that if anyone is trying to penetrate, or he just know the string value and he's just trying to uh, guess the password maybe by their advanced tool or something like that, it will be very tough for them to break that password and get it what is the right password. Okay, that is why the PSH stands more for the security purposes. Okay, and this is also part of your Entra Connect. All right, then this process is secure because the plain text password is never exposed. As I showed you, whatever password you have just typed, password 123, it will not show the same password. Okay, it will be something different. Okay, so it's very hard to break, and PHS is simpler. It supports cloud-based authentication, even though if you having a outage. Okay, for example, this is my on-prem and it's down right now, or maybe I don't have Entra internet maybe, and there is some connectivity issues or something happened. Okay, still we have this PSH which will safeguard and it will keep authentication alive, so that users can still work and they can access the cloud resources and they can connect to their regular work and they can do it. Okay, so that is PASH. Now PTA and versus PHS. Now tell me guys, which one do you like most? Okay, or which one do you prefer in your environment?
You would
I
prefer
think it,
PHS?
One by one so I can hear the
yeah, go
answer.
ahead, Janani.
I would prefer PHS because it's cloud dependent. As I said, if there something happens on-prem AD, we can retrieve the password from the PHS, but same thing we cannot do in PTA when the on-premise AD gets down.
Okay, but I have a very critical client. In that case, what will you prefer?
PTA.
Yeah.
PTA.
Yep.
Right. So PTA, yeah, go on. What about you, Andrew? What is your thought on this?
I think I'll go with the same. PHS. No,
PHS.
PHS,
Oh, you're
which
gonna
is
go with
for
PHS.
both,
Okay.
which is for both on-prem and then on cloud.
But PHS is not, if I'm having a very critical client, maybe a healthcare or something, okay, who's very predominantly, they're looking for the security. Okay, they don't want to compromise on sharing the roles and responsibility to the cloud. At that point of time, what do you think?
Then I think the PTA is better.
Right, right. What about you, Dhan?
No, definitely. If it's a critical, confidential, then PTA would be the best. And the other advantage with that is you never need to write back the password because authentication will always
Absolutely.
happen on-prem. With
Right.
PHS, you have an option to write back. So though the password consists on premises as well as in cloud, if on-prem application or server is down, you have an advantage of still using Office applications which is on the cloud because you can authenticate via the PHS. That's the
Right.
advantage. But for security, if you've got critical data, then PTA would be the preferred on premises. If you got on premises, confidentiality, I would say that.
Right. So I would just give you one of the example. So I was working with one of the telecom industry, okay, and one of uh, partner, one of like we have a Geo and Airtel here in India. So he is part of Sweden, and it's a big name over there. Okay, now the challenge was there, they were not sure should, I mean, they were very their security protocol is very tight. Okay, they don't want to compromise anything. They don't have any like sound system on their VDIs. Okay, they don't want to record anything. They don't want any screen share, nothing that to happen because of the security protocol. And they were in the dilemma. They don't want to share anything over the cloud. They were very much particular that all the governance body that should come from the on premise only. Okay, and that time they were setting up this Entra. So the selection was they are having PTA and PHS both in their mind, but they want some experienced resource to come forward and tell them, sir, please use PTA or please use PHS. Okay, and that was the dilemma, and I was part of that call. And me and one of the another architect, we were sitting together, and we were more focused about the PTA. Why? Because we don't want to go with PHS. Okay, though PHS is secure, but we don't want to compromise on anything. Okay, it was very plain and it was very straightforward. They were heavily dependent on their on premises. They were paying so much on the bigger size on the on premise rather than depending on the cloud. So we recommended that please use PTA. That will be more secure. And after some time, when they analyzed and they figured it out from their security team and other stuff, they found that solution was really essential, and that was really helpful, and they gave us kudos also while setting up this Entra Connect, and they ensured that yes, you guys having in your mind you having a paramount security, that yes, you kept us in all sorts ways. You saved our resources and all sort of things, so they were very happy. Okay, so PTA is that important sometimes. So PTA gives you higher security assurance. Okay, where first thing, you're not securing any or saving any password, any hashes on the cloud, and continuously your uh, dependency on premise is there. Okay, it will keep on asking you or requiring. Any other thought from anyone else, guys? I just need to wrap it up. So let me know any other thought. Otherwise, we'll go to the next slide.
So this thing they haven't discussed in the KT session. I mean, I'm underlying the KT session, but there is no discussion about PT or PHS or Entra Connect.
Okay, so it's very high level thing.
Yes,
That's
yes,
why
I just
now you will
this
get
once. Yeah.
yes, you will see more things like password writeback is also coming. Then federation services, hybrid AD join, all these coming in the next slide. So all this, so I mean, we doing transition, because you need to proactively ask these questions to if you are aware of it. Okay.
Yeah, they are using the Beyond Trust, Splash Top, and these things. They are just trying to connect the server, so they are getting from the cloud itself. I mean, we can search the server, and there is something called password, right? Authentication request. From there, they are getting.
So it is depend upon client to client. Okay, what they having there in your mind, and how much security do they require. Okay, depends. So accordingly they can make the selection, and it's you that who recommend the options. It's their choice. As a client, they have again full decision making is in their hand, right? So you cannot compel them to use this and that, but you can suggest the best approach, and then of course if they find it, they will talk to their security team. If they think like yes, it is required, definitely they will have it. Okay. So
maybe just one thing on the PTA, you would never need to write back, correct? Because all the password would be handled on premises. That would be the more critical way of storing all your confidentiality and securing your data. Would that be correct?
Sorry, I missed you. What was that?
Oh, so basically on a PTA, you would never need to do a write back, or I'm not quite sure if you would get that option anyway. If you chose PTA option, so only on premises, the password can be changed. Is that correct? Or you can still have an option, even if you chose PTA, you can change the password on a cloud. Cloud won't hold the password for on-premise. Is that correct?
So as understanding your question, while PTA is set up, can we change the password over the cloud? Is that your question?
Correct.
Okay, so Entra will not have that
Option.
first of all, Entra will not save the password. Okay, and if PTA does not sync the password to the cloud, it will not authenticate. First, that is the thing. Then changing the password. What I know, you require to have this. I don't think you can change it.
Okay. Now that makes sense.
Okay, you can only change it using the domain joined machines only.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Understood.
So
Thank you.
that will not work. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. So that was it, and let's go to the next slide. Right. So PTA is covered. PHS is this. So PHS is very straightforward. PHS where username and password is entered. Okay. User, this request is going to Azure AD. Okay. Where password hash will be checked and clarified. If it says yes, then authentication will be granted, and if it says no, the access will be denied. Okay, it is very straightforward. PHS, PTA, we had a PTA agent which were trying to connect to on-premise, and then it says that check the credential. If that is okay, then using that Entra Connect, that synchronization thing happens, and then password is verified, and that user gets login. Right. All right. Next, come to the password. This device writeback. So device writeback is something where when you are trying to when you have a devices, all right, and you just want like these devices should also reflect. Okay, on-premise devices should also be synced to the cloud for the management and compliance purposes. Okay, at that point of time you require this device writeback. Okay, so device writeback is something, device writeback and password writeback. Okay, this comes with the this comes with P1 and P2. Okay, so this comes with premium licenses. Okay, if you don't have Entra P1 or P2, okay, device writeback will not work. Okay, so that is clear. Now, device writeback, what is this? This is a feature, okay, that is there with Entra ID. Okay, that what it does, it write backs the on-premise Active Directory, and this will enable the synchronization. So if you're having conditional access based device compliances and all, and you have Active Directory Federation services, if device writeback is on, it is gonna be very seamless for users to authenticate. Okay, so whether you have set any compliances or you just want to manage the devices, this device writeback should be enabled. All right, now as I said, it requires a premium subscription, P1 or P2. Without that, it will not work, and it will enable the conditional access with ADFS. So that conditional access policies will be enforced to the devices. So whatever conditional access policies that you have created on premises, the same will be enforced using this ADFS, which is called Active Directory Federation Services. So that Federation Services is part of your on premises, and that should be enabled so that cloud machines can having this similar conditional access policies as well. All right, synchronization of devices from AD to on premises. So this, all those registered devices which are there with your Active Directory, that will be synced to your on-premise Active Directory. Okay, what if you just registering devices with your Intune portal? Okay, so those devices will be added to on-premise Active Directory as well. All right, because of this device writeback. Devices is stored in a dedicated container. So if device writeback is there, so when you are setting up a device writeback, or when you're doing autopilot, if you guys are aware, if you're doing a hybrid autopilot, at that time we require a container setup. Okay, and that containers is created on premises. Okay, so that containers, when the device writeback is there, I'll just give you a story here. We were I mean, one of the client, he had already set up everything by himself, okay, and he was doing autopilot, and he was struggling from last 15 days. His devices were not the autopilot was not getting completed. Okay, why? It was keep on failing on the page where it is trying to add to that domain or something. All of a sudden the entire setup gets crashed, and then he's keep on spinning the devices. Certificates are coming, applications are coming, everything is coming, but devices are not written back to on-premise container. Okay, so later part we figure it out that yes, the device writeback is not enabled. Okay, I'll give you one example or scenario as well. You guys suggest me what to do in this. All right, so this is a scenario where you have Windows autopilot situation. I think I have already revealed it, but uh, let me check if I have that scenario with me somewhere, and that was quite tricky. I think yes. So where is it gone? So I think I just messed it up. It was somewhere uh, on my this mobile. I think yeah, here it is. I got it. So your organization is using Windows Autopilot for new device provisioning. Okay, devices are set to hybrid Azure AD join. I think I already revealed, but okay. Group policies and Intune. Okay, both are pushing the configuration now. A batch of new laptops has come. Okay, and they are having some issues. What is the issues? Devices are appearing in tune as not enrolled. Okay, this is a real time scenario. Devices are showing in Intune as not enrolled. Okay, this is a new device. This is a new batch that has come. Okay, autopilot profile assigned, but it has stopped at account setup. Okay, at account setup, autopilot is failing, right? Company portal never installs on those devices. Okay, user report that they cannot sign in to office applications using corporate SSO. Okay, so what verification we have done? Okay, first thing, verified that yes, autopilot profile is assigned, is fine, that is correct. Intune MDM authority is correct. Okay, that is set. And GPO is also having enrollment restrictions, which is also fine. So three things that has been checked and confirmed is working fine. Now you have options here. Now I'll tell you the options. Okay. Sorry. I'll just give you the options so you guys can tell me. First option is saying that check if the Intune connector for Active Directory is running and synchronized correctly. Second, it says reset the autopilot device record and re-import hardware hash. Third, it says change device to Azure AD join only to bypass on-premise dependency. Fourth, it says manually enroll devices using company portal. Okay, I'll repeat the options again. Tell me which things should we do to fix the problem. Check if the Intune connector. This is where I'm talking about Entra ID. Okay, this is why I'm talking about Entra ID. All right. So Entra ID for Active Directory, is it running and synchronized correctly or not? Reset the autopilot pro device record and re-import hardware hash. Change devices to Azure AD join only to bypass and manually enroll devices using company portal. So which option do you think, guys?
I would go for
Reset
Entra
autopilot.
ID.
Okay, let's one by one. Dhan is saying option one. Okay, where he will
Reset
go with
autopilot.
okay Intune connector. Okay, and Janni is saying that autopilot reset. Okay, what about others, guys? What about others? Change device to Azure AD join only to bypass on-premise device dependency and manually enroll devices using company portal.
I think you You have to see if Entra join is active.
Entra join, first option.
Yeah.
All right. So we have 2 votes for option 1. Anyone else who wants to contribute?
Understand? Are you saying that when you get an option, when you log in first time to join a device to Entra, is that the option you're talking about?
Okay, I'll repeat the options again.
No, no, no. What I meant was, when you log in first time, you have
Mhm.
3 options. Log in with your credential, which means your, Microsoft credential. Then you have
Mhm.
another option where it says join via the Entra ID, or third one is join AD option.
Okay, so
So,
then what you're trying this is when you are going to account, okay, and
right,
from there when you are joining the device to domain, okay,
right.
then you
Okay.
get that option, that username, then you
Yep.
say the Entra, and then you say Active Directory. Okay, I'm not talking about
Correct.
this. Okay, I'm
Ah,
talking
right.
about,
Okay.
yeah, I'm talking about there is new laptops that has come, okay, and there are issues coming where users are, the issues are coming. The first issue is it's not getting enrolled. First of all, device is not
Okay.
appearing in Intune. If it's appearing also, it's showing as not enrolled. Second, it's showing autopilot profile is assigned but nothing is happening, and account setup page is not coming up, it is just stopping over there. Okay,
Okay.
third is company portal will never install, it's not installing. Fourth is users are reporting that they cannot sign into office applications with corporate SSO. So I'll tell you what is the answer. First of all, this device write back, okay, this device write back, if it's not enabled, then autopilot profile when you are doing a hybrid AD join, okay, this will not work, it will stop at account setup. That is the first thing. Okay, then when it's saying that synchronization could be an issue, so first thing you will check Intune connector, okay, whether it's active, your Entra ID is active, whether it's having the synchronization. Sometimes it happens like it stops somehow for 24 hours. Okay, something, sometimes it happens, it automatically stops for the synchronization. So we need to talk to Microsoft to get this fixed. Okay, so that could be an issue where synchronization is not happening. Second thing is device writeback is not set properly, so we need to enable that. And company portal, when you're saying devices are not installing with company portal, so what we can do, we can have a company portal. Okay, we can do a manually install company portal on the devices and see if that is working or not. So these things contribute when you're doing the troubleshooting, and device writeback is the biggest conflict in such scenarios. You would easily figure it out. If device writeback is not there, then lots of challenges will come with the device enrollment process. Okay, so this is where hybrid ID join is configured, where you will have a dedicated container where the device will go and sit. Then whenever you are creating sort of configuration settings and all sort of things, so these containers and all other objects will be automatically created. Okay, so this is when you're using a manual device management manually, where you want to keep the devices in particular set of thing and all, so then you require all these objects and everything. So we were doing when we will go with autopilot, okay, I will show you, and just remember this device writeback so you can correlate with this. Okay, and permissions, so our permissions will be automatically set, so all the necessary permissions which are required for AD Connect to synchronize and manage the device objects and all, that will be automatically set. So this was the device writeback. So guys, remember, this is very critical thing. All right, so device write
Yes.
back, and this next, let's talk about password
Thank you,
write
sir.
back.
I didn't
Thank
even know that there was a device write back, because I thought anything that is on premises, you have to configure manually and then do a hybrid connectivity to bring it into the Entra. I didn't even know this was available. Thank you.
We will test it, no problem. So we will test
Okay.
it. We will do two demos. One demo, either we can do it on Janani's since her laptop and lab is set up, or we can set this to anyone who's ready with laptop. So we will do two tests. One, we will disable that device writeback. We will not enable, and we'll do that autopilot and we'll test it out. And the second, I will enable this device writeback on my machine, and then I'll test it up, and then we will compare the result. Okay, and we will
Excellent.
see the conflicts. So that way we will do the R&D and we'll figure it out. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Let's talk about the password writeback. So password writeback, as we talked about it, it's as we talked about the device. This is password writeback is when you are for this also we require a P1 or P2. Okay, Entra P1. So Entra P1 and P2 is required, or EMS, and in that password writeback is a premium feature which will allow you to reset and change the password. So if you are changing any password over the Entra ID, okay, on the cloud, so the same changes will be automatically written back to your on-premise Active Directory. Okay, so this will ensure that there is a consistency across both the environment. Now, if the password writeback, some client, they do not, they don't enable password writeback, they are strict to PTA only. Okay, but if you're enabling, this means that yes, you are ensuring that yes, we have a consistency, and whatever hybrid identities we are trying to support in the environment, it does not have any conflict of passwords or any sort of object identification. Cloud to cloud, cloud to on-premise password synchronization. So this will enable password changes, whatever we are changing it. Okay, it will do a written back on that. Then bi-directional password synchronization means it will facilitate the synchronization of password changes from AD, okay, back to your on-premise Active Directory. So whatever changes you are making here in your cloud, okay, the same will be changed here on prem as well. Okay, so means you don't need to sit on a hybrid laptop, okay, do Control Alt and Delete and then change the password. Okay, it's not like that. Fine. Then secure password change propagation means, so it will provide a secure mechanism for transmitting the password updates. So whatever password if you have changed on over the cloud, okay, the same is going to be reflected here using the transmitting the password mechanism. So there is a secure mechanism that runs here as well. Okay, that secure mechanism will ensures that it's a bi-directional synchronization method that will enable to change the password. Bi-directional means cloud to on-prem, not on-prem to cloud. Okay, bi-directional means one way. Okay. Now, enforcement of on-premise password policies. So if you have created any complex policies, maybe for passwords, complexity, expiration, lockout, or you have just like enforced anything consistently that you want to maintain across on-prem and cloud, okay, that way that policy can also be managed from here, okay, because of this. And policy compliant for password reset. So Entra Connect will support SSO first of all. Okay. Second one, this synchronization will be designed in such a way that it will secure, it will be reliable, and it will minimize the downtime by leveraging a load balancing and replications. Okay, between domain controllers. So that way you will not have any sort of latency in password change. Then compliant reset. So when a user reset the password for Entra ID, okay, it is gonna be validated against the on-prem AD policies before anything that is applied. Means I have a password which is like 8 digit, okay, that should be alpha numeric, something like that, okay, and that should have at least some valid numbers. There should not be date of birth or anything, okay, which is quite easy to guess, correct, like ABC or something like that. And it should not have last password that you have set, or maybe 4, whatever, you can depend. So these things you have already prepared on your on-prem. So when you're changing the password from on cloud, okay, whenever you're changing the password from here to here, so the password, before changing the password, these criteria will be checked. Okay, these criteria will be checked. If these criteria are not met, the password change will not happen. Okay, it will deny you to changing the password. So that is password write back, guys. Next, let's talk about recap. So whatever we have learned so far. So this is where when you're doing a hybrid identity bridge, okay, you are trying to connect two entities, two environments in one. So then we are going to connect with Entra, okay, where we require Entra. If you want to have a single sign-on feature to be enabled, where you can easily have to like single with the single identity, you want to access your on-premise resources as well. The similar password or username password you can use for your cloud. This is where you can use single sign-on. Directory synchronization. So as we talked about it, we have in AD on-premises, we have multiple accounts, groups, and other objects which are maintained in a separate containers, in a hierarchical way. But cloud is very straightforward, it's flat, okay, it's heavily dependent on premises, and because of this Entra Connect, it ensures that the consistency is maintained in across the environment. So Entra is more of focusing on the objects rather than talking about the entire hierarchy, okay, and figuring it out where should I put this user or not. Does not need. The user is already segregated in a hierarchical manner. We are just using his object to identify and giving him authentication to access the cloud resources. That's it. Authentication option. So here, password hash, password through authentication, federation, okay, all sort of things we talked about already. Write back, okay, write back capabilities when you're changing a password. So same password, or you doing any group, adding any group or any devices which are coming to Entra ID, that should also be replicated in on-premise AD. Okay, group, just to confirm here, group, when you're creating in Intune, when you're creating group, there are two ways of creating. One, you can create it via the security, okay, security group, and there is a one called Microsoft 365 group. Okay, so Microsoft 365, and also if you're creating any group in Microsoft 365, that will not be replicated here in Intune. Okay, whatever group you are creating in your Entra, that will be replicated in your Intune. Okay, that is difference. Custom synchronization rules. So it will allow you using the filtering or customization for the objects and attributes when the synchronization happens. Security and compliance. So it will enforce securities whatever in both the environments. So same security, whichever there on premises, the same will be there on your cloud as well. Cloud will have one extra this capabilities where it will check your SSO, conditional access, and other piece of information. So it ensures that identity is protected, and it's also having the algorithm, SHA algorithm, which we talked about it. So that will also ensures that we have secured hash synchronized. Automatic updates. So Entra, we don't require Entra ID to be updated manually. It will automatically update it to the latest version with latest features and security patches. Okay, it will help you to monitor and troubleshoot what if there is any issues which are coming in your synchronization. So you can check the logs, you can monitor using the sync status and troubleshoot it accordingly. And this is especially essential when you're using a hybrid deployment, when you are maintaining both on-premise and cloud infrastructure. That way you require this Entra Connect, right? So general troubleshooting, for example, if you just synchronization is not happening, so on your on-premise server, maybe wherever, sorry. So I'm saying whenever you are doing any synchronization, if there is any troubleshooting required, so these two commands you can simply run. Okay, so delta and initial. Okay, that way you can ensure that the synchronization starts happening right and then and there. Okay, and that way it ensures that yes, there is no delay in synchronization. Mostly, if there is any delay and it's you keep on looking for synchronization issues, then do raise a ticket with Microsoft, and they will figure it out and fix it right away. All right. So demo guys, we will do it tomorrow if that is okay, fine with you, because we are almost. I have another batch. Okay, is waiting on right now. So we'll do the demonstration tomorrow. And if you have any questions, any doubt pertaining to any sort of thing that we talked about it, please do raise it in the forum. Okay. Then tomorrow we'll talk about more on the demonstration on the live server. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Weber, one
Just
thing
one
on this side. Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Who's it? Sorry, who is
Yeah,
it?
Weber, Anurag this side.
Anurag.
This recording will be saved in which will you save this so we can look that.
Of course, it is all okay. One question that came, I think Dhan was talking about it. We are doing it on. 1 second. Let me do this on YouTube. Okay, and let's take a look on this. So let me just a second. I just wanted to check what is we are talking about. So all these recordings are in the restricted playlist, and it's not open for public. Okay. Which one you talked about, Dhan? You said
Yes, so the
which recording? I'm sorry.
previous batch, the third episode, third.
Episode third. Okay.
Hmm.
Let me go and check. That is correct. Episode third. Where is it? This one.
So I'm
Okay.
going to the portal and connecting because in there you've got all the list.
Wait a second. This is what it is, and if I go to quality, so if I go to 1080, so this is coming on 1080, guys, but so I think this is coming from a recording, Microsoft Teams recording, right? I don't have any option here. Now it's showing HD 1080, if you can see.
Yes,
right?
I selected 8 because I'm a telepresent engineer, so I understand pixels, resolutions, and ghosting and data, how it goes on a wire, all those. And the quality is definitely 720 is coming. Now, where you're going to the YouTube, I'm going to your portal and selecting. So I'm not quite sure if it's referring back to the YouTube where you're viewing it, but definitely it's not clear. It's definitely not
Okay,
clear.
I never had this problem with my previous two batches, but okay, I'll take it as a feedback. But unfortunately, we are using Teams right now to record all these.
Okay.
If I mean, I don't have any Camtasia or anything because the licenses are very expensive for
Costly.
those.
Yes, correct.
Costly, right?
But
So
for the student, are you able to send the Teams recording directly, whether it is through your Google Drive or whatever?
That is
That
no,
not
that is
possible?
No, that is not possible. It will be directly on the Annectens itself, and this is since I already shared. This is on a restricted, unlisted and restricted one, and it's not publicly available. So we just keeping it here.
Yep.
If
So I
if
go
there
into
is
the
any
courses and then I go into the previous class, this one here, full course,
This
and
one,
I went to the third one and I thought it was coming from your website, but I assume that this is coming from YouTube where you've
this is
uploaded
coming
it,
from
correct?
yes, exactly. This is and you can change it to 1080 and
Yep.
you can make
I
it.
changed it.
So I'm not doing
everything.
any alteration or anything in the Teams. I'm straight
Okay.
away putting it on YouTube and just uploading it. So whatever YouTube is doing, I think that is where the problem is. But
Okay.
I'm not changing anything in the Teams
Okay.
recording.
So if you move the recording where you've got a, either Intune or Enter a page, I just want to see how it looks on yours. Because
Which one?
so if you
This one?
if you move the recording somewhere where there is no, that is correct. You're on the right. But where you got the start, move it where you can see. That's it. Keep moving the cursor.
You want me to move the cursor?
Yeah. I want to take it where you've got a either Entra or Intune page come up. If you click on the red, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, there. Yes, open that up. Just make it, let's see if it plays. Yeah, look, it's not clear. It's not clear. And if you select it, it's 1080p. This is definitely not 1080p when you're looking at it.
Right.
It
So
would
maybe
be like
something with
crystal.
YouTube. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
something is so YouTube.
Yes.
You might need to log a call with them to say, hold on,
Yeah,
my,
I'll raise a concern this. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. That's what it was. I mean, otherwise,
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
said,
No,
it's
good.
very
Good.
interesting.
I like these feedbacks because no one has complained about it, and though it was purely on YouTube, so I just thought
Yeah.
of they should look into it, right?
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
We'll have a
Thank
look.
you. And
Yep.
thank you for today's class as well, sir. Thank you.
No problem, Matt. My pleasure.
Yeah, Vaibhav,
It's always a pleasure.
sorry, yeah, sorry to interrupt. So next Saturday, I mean, if I'm not able to attend any classes, like I would like to see on the same day, maybe at evening. So how will I see that?
You will get it here only. Okay. I'm once the course is completed, it takes like backend teams, they works on rendering and uploading it all. So all these sessions will be coming here on your latest batch. Okay, this is a new batch. You guys need to enroll this, not the previous one, because previous one we already exalted. We already about to end that class, but I didn't mind sharing that with everyone because we all part of Annectens, and we have we don't there is no restriction as in sharing the knowledge or resources, because I want everyone to imbibe and enrich your knowledge. If you why I have given this, maybe someone who's preparing for the interviews, okay, they are nearing for their third round, maybe a fourth round, so I have given this, I have opened the doors for everyone. But if I urge, if you guys are stick to this course, so whatever I am recording, it will be purely coming here. And next, like this class is recorded, so we'll uploading over here. So if you missed it also, you can also get this here, and you can play that video like this, and you can have a look, like whatever we talked about it, all these you guys can see. And why we did not blur this up, okay? Why? Because this is internal. It don't publish, or maybe you guys are not doing it, but try to keep with you only. It's just for your reference purposes, okay? The recording is only shared for you, not with anyone. If you're using it for yourself, which is very good. I really appreciate it. Okay, so you can get it here, and then you can refer whatever I have taught it. Okay.
Okay, but yeah.
So by
I will just ping you
Tuesday-
in WhatsApp, okay, if I want that course in which I missed it.
Sorry, what do you want?
Yeah, I will ping the course name, I mean, which I missed it because next week I don't know when.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
No, you have access to this, right? You have access to, I think everyone is part of this class. They should, raise this auto enroll. Okay. If you have not requested for access, please do it. So I can give you access, and you guys can have all those sessions which are coming that will, appear here. So you guys can have all. Okay.
Yeah, I have
And
the
if
access.
anyone is pending with the access, please let me know, because there is a third party team. We refer to Odoo, and they do it from the back end. So I need to check with them, and I can get this approval straightforward. So I can see 7 people have requested it. If anyone who has missed, please do it, and also do the review if you have gone through, and if you find it out suitable, and you feel that there should be a review given on this particular thing, you can do it. And all sort of quizzes, documentation, and other piece of knowledge, like for all these sessions there will be two there will be 2 or 3 documentation purely. I mean, one is the minimum which we're trying to make as a document, as a PDF to be there, so you can refer whatever we have covered in the class, okay, as your paper, or maybe just preparation guide, something like that, or maybe summary of the documentation, something like that. So we are just working on it. So we will upload everything here, and all the quizzes will also be here. So each session, once you complete it, you will have a quiz, so you can complete it. I hope if you have access to the previous ones, and if you have checked out any quiz like this, so this is where you have options to choose and complete the quiz, and you will also be given extra 10x point that will also give your ranking, as in where you are landing with your knowledge. All right, guys. So
It has been sent to you for verification, Vibhu. I think you can just verify my ID.
okay, I will check and I'll do it. So
Yeah,
1
sure.
p.m. we are just going to talk about the UC engineer career path. Okay, how we should start uh, going forward, what certifications do we require, and all sort of piece of thing. So if you are interested, you can join that class. I'll share the link in the community. Okay, then let's understand what is your next step, how you should go forward. And in the next coming week, maybe tomorrow or next Sunday, I will bring one of my ex-student. He is now part of Infosys. He has joined as a senior consultant, and he was part of SCCM and Intune class earlier. So he has got a good advantage, and he wants to, like, I'll bring him, so he will share his experiences, what sort of interview rounds happened, what sort of questions that were asked, and what answers did he give all sort of things. He just wanted to give you to boost your confidence and make you job ready. Okay, so maybe let me check by tomorrow, or maybe next Sunday he might be appearing for the classes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
also,
Thank you very much.
thanks a lot. Also, there is a resume. As Janani said, she wants a resume for that. So I will also take a session on one of the sample resume, and I'll give you that sample resume to you guys, so you can make the changes accordingly, and you can utilize it for your, resume for interviews and all. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So let's wind up for the day. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining. Let's connect at 1 if you guys are coming. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.